Hello friends and good morning. Today I want to talk to you about why I absolutely hate plastic septic tanks, right? Let's get into it. So with septic systems, there's going to be a variety of tank composition. Sometimes you'll have a tank made of concrete, sometimes it'll be made of plastic, sometimes it'll be made of cinder block, metal, who knows? Those are the most common ones that you'll run into, right? They're going to be metal, fiberglass, cinder block, concrete, or some other kind of weird thing that somebody makes on site, right? I've seen people use 50-gallon barrels as their septic systems. Is that a wise thing to do? No. Should you do it that way? No. Is that going to be adequate and acceptable by the county? No, right? The most common tank that you'll run into, especially in Maryland, is going to be concrete. And the reason why is precast concrete. They know how it's built. It's been tested. The strength as well as the water tightness is known. There's very little error, very little chance of defect from those tanks. It does happen, right? You do find concrete tanks that are already cracked by the time they're put in. Maybe the tank setter put it down and the concrete wasn't quite mixed right, and something doesn't sit well when the setter puts it in the hole. It happens. However, I've had way more issues with plastic tanks, right? So why would you choose one over the other? So concrete tanks, again, are chosen because of their reliability, the sizing, and everybody knows what they look like and how they're used. Plastic tanks, on the other hand, they are used and they are permitted sometimes on difficult sites, right? Let's just say that your property's real close to another house and you don't want to crane, a 10 by 5 by 6 concrete box over top of your house. Or maybe the tank setter can't fit between the homes, or maybe there's a large slope to where the tank setter can't sit correctly in order to get the tank set. There are a variety of factors that can make it to where a tank can't quite be put in where you would want it to go. So a plastic tank does have its benefits, especially when you have weird site conditions, right? Like if there's something weird going on the property where a normal tank can't be put in, a plastic tank is perfect. However, the problem with plastic tanks are they're cheap, right? So the big thing that you'll see is probably about a 50% decrease in cost from going from concrete to plastic. They're a little bit longer, but they're smaller in height. They're lighter, significantly lighter, right? So if you have a system where you can't quite fit a normal truck through the side yard, you can't quite crane over the house, you could physically push it with a bobcat or pull it with a couple guys into whatever position you want it to go, right? Now, the issue with a plastic tank is it's plastic. So you can only bury it to a certain depth. Every manufacturer is a little bit different, but most counties won't let you put more than a foot or two of cover on top of a tank. And the reason why is that dirt is heavy, right? Plastic is only so resilient. They'll put reinforcements in there to try and keep the dirt from crushing it. But usually where plastic tanks go wrong is they get crushed. Usually what happens is it's on install, right? So on install is usually where that tank gets crushed, and then now you got problems with the cracks in the plastic and the tank's leaking, and then you're right back where you started, right? Where you got to replace the tank. Another thing that happens quite a bit is when you pump the tank, right? You run into the problem of that tank not having enough water to help push the walls back out. Water helps to push the dirt in the walls out of the way, so that way the dirt itself doesn't compress and collapse the tank itself. So if you pump the tank all the way down and you don't leave any kind of water, you run the risk of those supports potentially failing, especially if they were improperly installed, or maybe the manufacturer messed up, or maybe whoever is backfilling the dirt onto the hole maybe put the dirt too hard. Maybe there's a weakened support. If you pump all that water out, squish, now you're right back where you started, where you have to replace the tank. Plastic tanks, in my experience, generally they're installed by homeowners, right? You can purchase them. You can even get them from like somewhere like Home Depot, right? They're about $3-4 grand to get a 1,500-gallon tank. But most of the installers that I know in this area and that I see, they're only putting in concrete. So usually when I come across a property that's got a plastic tank, first red flag pops up is, maybe this is put in either off the record or by somebody who's never done this before. So you start looking a little bit further, and almost 9 out of 10 times it ends up being that the homeowner didn't have the funds, they put it in themselves, but they didn't do it quite right, and it's not working. My absolute favorite is when people put those plastic tanks in the middle of like a pasture, right, where there's horses, mowers, even maybe tractors, like if they put it inside of like a large farm area, right? Those equipment, as well as horses, they're heavy, right? And so if you've got 2 foot of cover on top of the plastic tank and you have a horse that's just chilling on top of the tank, that additional weight can cause cracks and compressions, right? I would also argue that the lifespan of the plastic tanks is significantly less than that of a concrete tank. In our area, we generally would recommend that a concrete tank lasts about 60 to 80 years. The most common issue that we see from those older systems is the seal on the mid-seam is usually what goes bad. Nowadays, we use top seam tanks, so we don't have to necessarily worry about that as much, but it still happens, right? Sometimes you just get a heavy amount of corrosion on that concrete and it just falls apart. It does happen, but it's not as common, right? It'll probably be another 30 or 40 years before we have any real good data for the modern septic systems, but the ones from the 40s and 50s and 60s, they are still around as long as the seal is in good shape, right? Plastic, on the other hand, I have seen countless systems installed since the 90s using plastic, and almost all of them are starting to collapse or have giant cracks or large compressions in the tank wall itself, which the county does not see as acceptable. The state does not see that as acceptable, and you have to remediate. Generally, when it comes to remediation, you're replacing the tank. There's not really much you can do with it. So in my opinion, if you're going to spend the cheap option, right, and get the cheap tank, the cheap equipment, as long as you got it for a decent enough rate, you just buy another one, slap it in, and you get basically the same amount of lifespan as a concrete tank. But you have to go through all those headaches, right? Some counties actually won't even let you put in a plastic tank. Like, I have not seen Baltimore County ever install a plastic tank. They're the only county I've never seen one in. I've seen tons of plastic tanks in Anne Arundel County, as well as some of more of the southern counties. They generally will tend to pack some of those older developments from like the 1950s through 70s. They're much, much tighter property lots, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense, right? If you're going to have a plastic tank on your property, it's super important, like I said, to make sure that you have somebody who knows how to pump a plastic tank out correctly, because you are playing with fire. Especially if somebody doesn't pump it correctly, you will have to replace it. And oftentimes they may say like, hey, look, it was cracked before I got here. It's hard to prove either way, so it's just best to make sure that they know what they're doing prior to letting them pump your tank, right? If you're going to go down the route of doing this unpermitted, you do run the risk of somebody inspecting it whenever you sell the property, or let's just say you want to build an addition, county gets involved. If you do it unpermitted, there is a good chance that the county could come back and say, hey, that's not correct, that's unpermitted, you need to rip this out, put a new system in. And that can hold up your entire addition process. It can hold up your entire repair process. My opinion, it's not worth trying to avoid permits. They're inconvenient, but they're there for a reason, to make sure that you're not impacting any of your neighbors or anybody else. But they're really not that bad, right? They're a couple $100. Yeah, the county has to inspect it. But as a consumer, as a homeowner, by having multiple sets of eyes on that installation, it means that you're probably going to get a pretty good installation and not have to worry about anything squirrely happening at your property, right? Like, if the county's not inspecting to make sure that somebody's installing a drain field correctly, what's to stop that installer from not putting enough stone, right? Maybe they put a pipe straight into the woods. If they do that, guess whose problem it is? Yours, right? So I hope that this brings a little bit more clarity on it. Again, my position on this is you should always choose a concrete tank over a plastic tank every single time. Plastic tanks are a waste of money, in my opinion. However, if you want to do them, they are a little bit cheaper, they're a little bit easier to install, but you run the risk of a lower lifespan, right? If you enjoy content like this, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you have any areas of conversation you would like me to discuss, leave a comment. I try to get to all of them as quick as I can. Let's continue this conversation. Till next time, guys.